What's up? Welcome back to another episode of the Swiss Daytona 500. Gonna run through some bets I'm placing here. NASCAR's tough to bet, man. It's a lot of fun. For those of you who've never bet NASCAR before, it's definitely a lot of fun. It's tough to consistently turn a profit. I started off the season, I was hitting for the first couple months of last year. Definitely finished the year down. Hopefully we have some better luck this year. But yeah, Daytona 500 season starting. Let's go.
Welcome to the Swiss. The Swiss. Hey, get the Swiss.
All right, so I'm going to get started by bringing up Joey Logano. He's obviously the first name everyone's going to mention here. Not only is he starting on the pole, which means starting in first place if you're new to NASCAR, but he's also got really nice looking results here at Daytona. In his last 6 races at Daytona, he's got an average finish of 12.5, 4 top 20s, 2 top 10s, 2 top 5s. But here's the thing. Look at the numbers attached to Joey Logano here. Let's pull up the prices for a Joey Logano top 10 finish. Minus 115, minus 130, minus 280 on DraftKings. Just to give you an idea of what we're dealing with here, let's use this minus 130 price tag from BetMGM. Let's say we're going to bet this. Joey Logano top 10 finish minus 130. A $130 bet pays out $100 in profit. This means you need to hit this bet at a 57% rate just to break even. If we pull up Joey Logano's numbers at Daytona again in the last 6 races, he finished in the top 10 just 2 of his last 6. Most definitely not 57%. Not to mention, anyone who's familiar with NASCAR knows that starting on the pole really doesn't mean shit, especially on these restrictor plate tracks like Daytona and Talladega. You can go from 1st to 28th in a lap, sometimes less than a lap. So yeah, the public's gonna keep hammering Joey Logano. They see he's starting in first place. He's a popular driver, but because of that, we're never gonna get a fair price on Joey Logano. So then how do we find betting value here? Well, I want to start by looking at some drivers who finished last season hot. Maybe their numbers on the full year weren't great, and we can get a decent price on a guy who might be on the come up, who finished last season on a hot streak, which brings us to William Byron. This man finished last season on a rampage. In the last 13 races, he had an average finish of 6.46. He finished in the top 20, 13 out of 13. Every single race, 10 out of 13 top 10s, 7 out of 13 top 5s. Not to mention he won 2 of the races. Let's take a look at the price tags on Byron here, and really not too bad. A top 10 finish pays out plus 110. We just said Byron finished in the top 10 in 10 of his last 13 races to finish out last year, plus 350 for top 5. He hit that 7 of the last 13. Now, before I place my bet on William Byron, I first want to know, why am I getting him so cheap? Why are they giving us this price? And I think his finish in Daytona last year might have something to do with that. Finished 34th in last year's Daytona 500. He got in a wreck. But check it out. The second race in Daytona, a month later in August, he finished 8th. So that would have cast that plus 110 top bet. And to take it a step further, look at Byron's results at Talladega last year. Now, Talladega is another restrictor plate track, somewhat similar to Daytona. The 2 races at Talladega last year, William Byron finished 2nd and 7th. So other than the Daytona 500, the 3 other main restrictor plate races, William Byron went 3 for 3 in top 10 finishes. So I'm going to ladder him. Give me William Byron top 10 plus 110, William Byron top 5 plus 350, William Byron top 3 plus 550, and William Byron to win the race at plus 2,000. Quarter unit each. If you're a $50 bettor, put $10 a piece on this, $15 a piece tops. I like to spread my money out and ladder them. All right, so I got Byron, but I'm going to keep it going. I can't watch the Daytona 500 with all my tickets on one driver. Next guy I want to pull up is Buescher, another guy who finished last season hot. Average finished 9.33 in the final 15 races of last season, 13 out of 15 top 20s, 9 out of 15 top 10s, and 3 wins out of the last 15. Next question, how did Buescher perform at Daytona last year in the 2 Daytona races? 2 top 5 finishes, 4th in the Daytona 500, then he went on to win the Coke Zero Sugar 400 at Daytona in August. So 2 for 2 in top 5 finishes. How'd Buescher do in the 2 Talladega races last year? 19th and 3rd. So here's another guy who went 3 for 4 in top 10 finishes at the main restrictor plate races last year. And how is he priced? He's actually priced the exact same as William Byron. But again, before I place my bet, I need to figure out why they're giving me these prices for Buescher. I mean, this guy won 3 of the last 15 races. He's hitting top 10 finishes at 60% to finish the year. And the answer is, historically, this man has struggled at Daytona a bit. Last year, he finished 1st and 4th. Very impressive. But the 4 races at Daytona before that, dating back to 2021, he finished 27th, 16th, 40th, 31st. So Buescher has really struggled at Daytona entering last year. Now, last year he had 2 top 5 finishes, so that's probably why we're getting such a good price is his history at this track. So I'm not going to bet Chris Buescher quite as hard as William Byron. I'm going to hit him at top 10 for plus 110, and I'm also going to open up a ticket for him to win at plus 2,000. Next driver I want to bring up, his name is Corey LaJoie. How'd he finish last season? 19.67 average finish in the last 9 races with just 1 top 10 finish. So why am I talking about this guy? Look at his numbers at the main 4 restrictor plate races last year. 2 at Talladega, 2 at Daytona, average finish of 13.75, 3 top 10 finishes. This man went 3 out of 4 in top 10 finishes at the main restrictor plate races. Want to know the price tag on Corey LaJoie to finish in the top 10? Plus 200. That's a nice little payout for something that's happened 3 of the last 4. Also, Corey LaJoie to win the race, plus 5,000 if you're looking to take a home run swing. Personally, I'm probably just going to hit him at the top 10 though. All right, so last guy I want to look at, his name is Alex Bowman. Now, this is almost the exact opposite logic I was using in the beginning of this video. Alex Bowman started last season off red hot, finished ice cold. Through 10 races last year, Alex Bowman had an average finish of 10.3, 6 top 10s, 3 top 5s. He was red hot to start the year, but look how he finished it in the last 10 races of the season. 20.7 average finish with just 1 top 10, 0 top 5s. And check this out. Now I'm pulling up Alex Bowman's numbers from 2022, 2 seasons ago. Noticing a pattern? Through the first 10 races, average finish of 11.1, 6 top 10s, 2 top 5s. In the last 10 races, average finish 18.4, just 3 top 10s. Looks like a bit of a pattern forming here with Alex Bowman. And not only does Bowman start these seasons out strong, look at his 2 races at Daytona last year. 5th in last year's Daytona 500, 6th in the August race in Daytona. So 2 top 10 finishes, 1 top 5 finish from Bowman. Now, when we look at Alex Bowman prices and compare it to his full season numbers, these look about right. But if we isolate his numbers early in the year, just from the first 10 races, and take into account his success at Daytona, I think there's good value on this guy. I'm going to go with Alex Bowman top 10 and Bowman to win the race at plus 3,500. I'm going to cut it off there. I'm not going to go too crazy with this. I think 4 drivers is enough. If you've never bet NASCAR before, I apologize if what I said made no sense. Promise it's a lot of fun. So yeah, those are the 4 guys I'm going with. Let's have ourselves some fun. I'm going to post my final bets on the website too at KyleKirms.com, and I'll post it in the Discord as well. So if you're interested in that, head over to the website. Let's have ourselves a fun Sunday. Let's go racing.